Section 6.4, writing all key signatures. So in this section, I'm going to give you names of major keys, and your job is to be able to write out the key signatures correctly. And this time, I'm not going to tell you in advance if you're dealing with sharps or if you're dealing with flats. You need to be able to figure that out on your own. And luckily, there are some pretty easy tricks to incorporate, and those can help you get to the right answer pretty quickly and accurately. So let's consider these charts here. What we have essentially on the top is your list of sharp keys. And yes, I have C major here for completeness. So you can figure out how to read this chart pretty easily, I'm sure. C major is the key with no sharps in it. It doesn't have any flats either, right? G major has 1 sharp. A major has 3 sharps. The major key with 6 sharps is F sharp major. Now on the bottom, we have the list of the flat keys. So yes, C major has no flats. F major is that key with 1 flat. The 3 flat key signature belongs to E flat major. If you have 6 flats in a key signature, that is G flat major. So what we've done is we've just broken it down into sharp keys on the one hand and flat keys on the other hand. Because the most important question that you'll need to ask yourself at first in dealing with these next problems is, am I dealing with a sharp key or a flat key? Because that will affect your method, right? Like whether you're going to go down by a half step or whether you're going to make this thing be the second to last flat. You need to know what you're dealing with from the beginning. So let's look for a couple of patterns. Let's look at the sharp keys first. Now let's forget about C major for right now. Let's look at the keys that actually have 1 or more sharps in them. I'm just going to clear up our chart here. So in other words, we're dealing with these. All of these have some number of sharps in their key signature. One way you can easily memorize these is that it's the word badge, B, A, D, G, and E, and also F sharp and C sharp. So if you just memorize those 7, the badge plus F sharp and C sharp, you've got your sharp keys down. Now what about the flats? Let's look at this collection. These are all of the keys with 1 or more flats in them. And in fact, let me recalibrate here. Let me circle these for reasons that will become apparent. Let's look at these. The keys with 2 to 7 flats all have flat in their name, right? B flat major, E flat major, A flat major, D flat major, G flat major, and C flat major. They all have flat in the name. The only outlier among the truly flat keys is F major. So pretty easy so far, right? For sharps, it's badge plus F sharp and C sharp, which is what we have down in the bullet points here. These with flat in their name, they are all flat keys, makes perfect sense. And then we just have these 2 exceptions to deal with. We already talked about F major, that is the key with 1 flat, and then C major, it's the one with no sharps or flats whatsoever. So again, just remember badge plus F sharp and C sharp, flat in the name equals a flat key. F major has 1 flat, C major has nothing at all. So you should be in good shape to figure these out. Let me do a couple of demos and then we'll work through at least a few of the exercises. So this is your starting point, and I grant you that the answer is already visible, but let's work through it together. So the starting point is A major. Well, is that going to be a sharp key or flat key? Well, A is part of badge, right? So it is therefore a sharp key because it belongs to that word. That's just a little mnemonic that you can use to keep track of your sharp keys and flat keys. So if you know that you're dealing with a sharp key, then you can use that particular method. You remember from the sharp keys, you go down a half step to figure out the last sharp. The last sharp is going to be G sharp. So F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp is your answer. Now let's do this one. G flat major. Is that going to be a sharp key or flat key? Well, it has flat in its name, so it's got to be a flat key. Again, for that very reason. So this is where you use that second to last flat method. We want this thing right here to be the second to last flat. So we're going to write B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat. G flat is the one that we want to be second to last, so we go 1 further than that. So we wind up with 6 flats. Let's do at least a couple of these together at first. So D major. In fact, let's actually do this. Let's go through all of them and just determine whether they are sharp keys or flat keys, and then we'll do maybe a few in full. So D major, is that a sharp key or flat key? Well, that's part of badge, right? So that's going to be a sharp key. This one has flat in the name, so it's going to have flats. This one, F major, oh, that's the one with just one flat. We just have to memorize that. C flat major, of course, is going to have flats. D flat major, of course, is going to have flats. Going on even to the second line. E flat major, yes, it's going to have flats. G major, that's part of badge, so that's going to have sharps. F sharp major, it has sharp in the name, and in fact, it was one of those that we memorized towards the end of that first table. That's going to be a sharp key, definitely. C major is the one with nothing at all, so 0 sharps, 0 flats. Just have to memorize that. B major, part of badge, so it's sharp. So you could use that method if you like, where you just plow through all of them and figure out if you're dealing with sharp keys or flat keys. Then I'll do just a few of them to completion. D major, we already determined it was a sharp key, so that means you go down a half step. C sharp is going to be your last sharp, so F sharp and C sharp are in your key signature. For A flat major, well, we said it's a flat key, right? So we're going to write out our flats, B flat, E flat. A flat is what we want to be second to last, so we write one more to D flat. And yeah, let's do maybe 2 more. F major, we just said it was one flat. Which flat is that going to be? That's going to be B flat. And then here, C flat major, we already know it's going to be a flat key, so just start writing out those flats. B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat. C flat is what you want to be second to last, so you write one more, and we've got that collection of all 7 flats. If you want to pause the video and work out the rest, you can. I will share the answers in just a moment. So for D flat major, write out your flats. B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat needs to be second to last, so go one more. E flat major, B flat, E flat, and A flat. That way E flat is your second to last one. G major, down a half step, lands you on F sharp. That is the first sharp in the order of sharps. Nothing beyond that needed. F sharp major, this is a trickier one. Down a half step, lands you on that note E sharp. Remember, you're always searching for that last sharp. So fat, cats, go, down, alleys, eating. That's where we stop. C major, just leave it blank because you know that it has no sharps or flats. And B major, down a half step, lands you on A sharp. So fat, cats, go, down, alleys, and you're all set.